Welcome to the Conquer Food podcast with Craig and Paula Williams, where we share tips, tricks and strategies from the coalface of the weight loss industry in the UK. We're going to help you to think, eat and move better. Ultimately, we're going to help you finally gain control and conquer food. Hey up and welcome back to the Conquer Food podcast. Today I've got a great guest who is a very, very popular guy in life, not just at TEAM Bootcamp, but he came to TEAM Bootcamp a while ago now and just made some incredible changes in his lifestyle, in his appearance, in the way that he eats and everything, you know, and he's always a joy to have back at TEAM Bootcamp. And today we really want to talk about some of the lessons that he's learned and the experiences that he's had and get some of the great information that he's had to implement in order to make some pretty big changes in his life. But also he's got a real interesting charity event coming up that he never ever expected to do. Okay, he's getting ready for the London Marathon and it'd be really good to kind of talk about that. So, Stefano, how are you doing?
Hi, Craig. I'm good, thanks. And I am. Thanks for having me in this podcast. I'm doing well, as you say. I'm going through a massive journey again, challenge, and I am really motivated. And yes, it's a lot of pain, but also a lot of enjoyment and reflection. And I'm learning a lot in this last journey that I embarked a few weeks ago with you, by the way, with your support.
Yeah, so in Stefano's preparation for the London Marathon, I've just been giving him a bit of advice with his running and his training and what have you. And in true Stefano style, he's grabbed everything and he's working really well with it. So we're going to talk about that in a bit. But I just want to go back to the time before you came to boot camp, Stefano. And can you just tell me a little bit about what your health and life was like then? Because there has been a lot of changes.
Yes. I have actually in front of me the picture of before and after. So, and often I do not recognize that before me. So my life was in pursuit of a career development. I've been traveling and relocating in different countries and in different places, and over the past 15 years before my transformation, which started 3 years ago. And those 15 years, they brought me all over different places, but also I kind of lost really a bit of sense of me and my health and my good habits. And I became really, I was more than 100 kilos and I had really not healthy patterns in my eating, drinking, not sport at all, massive back pain, and there was a bit, yes, my life. I was still a very happy person, but probably even happier socially than I am now. But that was a way of hiding some insecurity and some bad feeling that I had because I saw a me that didn't really correspond to what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, very long answer, Craig.
No, it's incredible. I didn't realize you got up to sort of 100 kilos. So, I mean, was it just the combination of travel, moving around, not really getting to settle that caught up with you? Was it, or was there certain things going on? You know, your eating habits and that kind of stuff, or drink? I mean, what was it?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very clever question because it's a combination of so I went through several. I don't want to call them crises, but yes, transformation in a non-positive way, if you want. So it was traveling, it was the jet lag, it was the be around. But beyond that, there was also a sense of loneliness. Because I left my home country, I went to live in a place where I didn't know really anyone speaking a language which was not my mother tongue language, and then when I started to travel, so I felt really dissociated from a social context that usually helped helped me to have some equilibrium. So I lost that. I lost the balance.
Yeah.
And then I started even to smoke. I never smoked up until I was 33 years old. I started to smoke when I was 33 years old, traveling, and and I smoked before because I used to do regularly sport. So started to smoke, started to drink regularly, not to be drunk, but drink alcohol almost every day. And then. Yeah, it's a combination of all of it, and then my personal life was completely also changed because I was alone for a long period until I met Karen, my wife, and yes, a combination of several personal, professional topics and things that contributed to that.
So what was it that kind of led you to TEAM Bootcamp, where we sort of first met you, and what kind of a mindset was you in when you kind of booked to come along, and what really brought you to TEAM?
So almost 4 years and a half ago, we moved in the UK, from France, and I was in a job again that accelerated even more that vicious cycle for me. And I came to realize that I couldn't really continue. I suffered of severe sleeping apnea at the time. So since I was in France, I slept with a CPAP machine, and I was in a moment of. It was the lowest moment of my being. I didn't like myself. I avoided El Niro. I was jeopardizing a fantastic relationship with my wife, and I wasn't enjoying anything. I wasn't enjoying any success at work, anything. So I changed that job, and I took for myself for 5 weeks in between.
Yeah.
Which I never did before, and then I said I need to do something because I can't continue like that. And then I found you guys. So that was it was probably the bottom moment of my existence until that time. Yeah.
Was you nervous when you was coming to? When you'd booked and everything? Were you nervous? I mean, was you excited? What was kind of going on there?
Oh yeah, so bootcamp. So I searched a lot online before the start because I had only one shot. I mean, I had 4 weeks. I spent one with family in Italy, and then 2 weeks to start to change the habit. So I researched a lot online. I read a lot of different options, and then somehow through the testimonial and the videos that I saw about TEAM Bootcamp, I thought you were the perfect. You one that made sense for me. So yes, when I came, I was nervous, anxious, excited too at the same time, and but there was an underlying. I was convinced underneath that was something good. In any case, whatever was the output would have been a good experience because completely different and new. So it was a mix of nervousness, anxiousness, and a curiosity. These three main feelings I had, feelings and perceptions.
Yeah, I remember when you sort of first came along, and what I remember is you just went along with everything. You know what I mean? You just you did everything we asked of you. You followed the program, and you just came with I just remember. Not everybody does, bizarrely. You kind of think, well, surely you put time aside, you pay good money, and of course you'd throw everything at it, but not everybody does. And you did, and you was definitely a standout boot camper. So what are some of your highs and lows from that first time?
So the eyes clearly is the relationship you create and the dynamic with the campers and with the trainers. That was for me. Was fantastic. And I still have massive. I treasure those moments still now. The low was, is like putting your face against the limit of my body.
Yeah.
The sugar deprivation, that was like I wanted to kill everyone at one point because I came there with my bad habits of drinking and eating, and you guys in 2 weeks, you just in 3 days, you just completely destroy all of that, and that was like a law. I mean, honestly, I remember coming to go back in the room in few evening and just wanted to cry. Actually, I probably did cry because I had pain everywhere. I felt weak. I had pain everywhere. I couldn't focus. It was really a classic withdrawal from a drug feeling, and that was the sugar clearly. And I had cramp in my stomach, so that was a low moment. But actually, that low moment has been fantastic for the results that they generated. And you say before I stand out. Thanks for saying that. I did not know. I mean, I was in the army myself, so I know you are inspired by a very disciplined and rigorous army. I know trusting the process is something I always tend to do when I think I can trust people that they are behind the process. And so it wasn't really. Trusting the process for me was not really the problem. The problem was to go through the difficulties of the whole change of eating different, moving every time, every day. So yeah, and in fact, I came back every time I could since then over weekends.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm just looking now at the countdown on the screen to the London Marathon on the 3rd of October. And it's just over 57 days, 10 hours, right? So it's coming up quick, it's coming up quick. And, if you sort of think back to those times when you was over 100 kilos, sleep apnea with a CPAP machine, back pain, depression, all these things. I mean, how have you ended up preparing for the London Marathon? Did you ever think you would do something like this?
No, never. Never, ever. When I left the first 2 weeks TEAM Bootcamp, my first objective was to recover from the different pain that I had, and to maintain and to sustain and maintain that good healthy habit you gave me for the nutrition, right? And then funny, I never liked running. I hate running even when I was super fit in the past. But then one of your senior trainer had kind of transferred this passion to me, and so I thought maybe I can aim to run 5K, and and that was my objective. And so, but the first time I did, I was so happy, and I did it in, I don't remember, probably 45, 50 minutes. It doesn't matter, but I did it, and then I said, maybe I can do it faster. So then I did it below 30 minutes. And then I said, maybe I can try to do 10K, And then step by step, I said, wow, this is actually interesting because I'm finding something I never thought. Now, the London Marathon has been in my mind since last year when I succeeded to run half a marathon. But I always thought, first of all, half a marathon is half of it. And then the London Marathon is so difficult to replace it. So I started to create a lot of excuses for not being able to. And then the door opened, and thanks, you were there helping me with the program.
Yeah, well, like I said,
the door opened 4 weeks ago, as you know.
Yeah, I remember that message. You sent a message saying, Craig, unfortunately, I've got a place in the London Marathon. And I was like, amazing, that's incredible. And he was like, I've not been training very much because I've got a bad knee.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but I kind of knew. So very similar to what you've done there. You started with no expectations and just sort of thinking, I'll try 5K, doing 5K, and then then progressing to, well, I'll just start to 10K. And it's exactly the same, with the training that you're doing now. It's like, well, we'll try an hour's run today. You know what I mean? And you've just progressed really, really well. So it's really good. So have you got a charity in mind? Is there a reason behind it?
The charity is called SENSE. Is an amazing, like all charity, they're all amazing what they do. These SENSE helps people with severe disability, combined disability. Yes, I'm fundraising for them. I'm part of the team now for the race.
Yeah.
And yes, it's going okay. It's going okay. Still have time. It's going okay. And as you probably give me as a tip, say fundraising is important, but do not waste all your energy and focus on the fundraising because you want to run the race. You want to run the marathon first, right? So
yeah, that's it. I've done it in the past where it's just taken every bit of your attention when you should be training and you're trying to raise money. And of course, we'll have your charity links in the description. So if people know you or inspired by your story and want to donate, they can do. So I'll make sure those links are in there. So if we just go back, and I'll also share a link to your article that you wrote about the 3 aprons. Can you just sort of tell me about like where that idea came from? And it's an amazing article. It really stands out in mind.
Yeah. That idea came from my those 2 weeks at TEAM Bootcamp. I realized that the real fight wasn't really going through the routine and the discipline of the TEAM Bootcamp. The real fight would have started out of that protecting a safe environment, right? Mm. The real fight would have started having the temptation in the evening to open a bottle of beer when you are on your own, or don't be able to say no to friends or colleagues for dinner and after dinner party, or do it in a different way than before. So I realized that if I would have not done something different and force myself to do something, not force, but invite myself to do something different, I would have go back to before. And honestly, after all the pain I went through, it would have been such a shame. So I thought then I had conversation with some campers that they've been back there with the trainers, and I thought, okay, I need to give myself objectives, and I objectives that they are achievable, measurable, and they are mine. So. And this is mostly for the nutrition, because that was my biggest fear, going back to bad habits. So yes, then I had this idea to buy 3 aprons, and this came from I think Taj in one of his personal examples shared say that when he started this transformation, he was going back home, put an apron, and then cook something from the fridge. Yeah. And so this is his experience, and then I picked up on that subconsciously, and then I elaborated on that by buying 3 aprons and writing in the center of each of apron my 3 objective of weight. And so every evening, coming back from office or from work, traveling around, rather than just scuffing, I don't know if I can say that, rather than just eating without thinking whatever was there, I actually put the apron on me physically, and that gesture put me in the mindset of, okay, this is my objective. My first objective was 90 kilos.
Yeah.
So this is my objective, what I can prepare for myself today that will help me to achieve this objective. That is on my chest, if you want.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that gesture then became immaterial, meaning I didn't need to do it anymore. If I was out having a dinner, I was able to visualize the putting the apron to keep in mind my objective. And that helped me really to continue that path. To the point that then I took away the first apron. I made it. I gave it as a present to one of the best camper I ever met. And then I put my second apron, which was the second objective, which was 85.
Yeah.
And then sorry, actually the first one was 85, the second 80, and the third one was 75. Yes. So this is the story of the apron. It came up by, picking ideas and elaborating on my own what could I have done to maintain and sustain the change.
I love the idea of like tracking what you're doing without it being the scales. You know what I mean? It's more, you put something around your waist and like, how does it fit? So many of them, it's just the number on the scales, and that's not always a great way to track it. So I love that. Was there times when your weight would go up or fluctuate, and if so, like how did you deal with that?
It was because I maintained what I learned or what I rediscovered through TEAM Bootcamp. It's been easy actually. The first apron was easy. The third one has been super tough. Yeah, you're right, and it's been super tough. And not, maybe I should put it again because I am a bit above now that. But I am okay because I feel well. I'm happy again. As you say, is a number in the end. I am healthy. I don't need the CPAP machine anymore. I'm running. I'm healthy. My environment of life is back. That's a number, and I know that even if I don't have that exact number on my scale, who cares? Because at the end, I'm feeling well when I am now.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been hard. But then again, I took a distance from that and I said, okay. I remember I was 78, between 77 and 78, and I could never go below. And I said, well, why do I am okay. I can run half a marathon. That was last year. I could run half a marathon. So what's the point? I have a medium size again. I'm feeling well. I'm okay with myself. That's just a number. So I didn't make that objective to become an obsession.
There was someone else there that, is in a similar state that you was in before, overweight, sleep apnea and bad back, that kind of stuff. What kind of bits of advice would you give them for like getting started? I would
say, for me, big lesson, trust the process. If you think you are alone and the other one are better than you, just forget about it. You are not alone, and we all come with different journey, different issues, and being together with other people that they try to go through this necessarily will help necessarily. So you're not alone. This is something that really helped me a lot in bootcamp. There were 15, 20, 25 people, and the togetherness helped me. So you're not alone. There are experts and people that they know what to do and how to help you to go through. But in the end, there's only one person that can really help, and that's you.
That's it.
So you should really trust in yourself. And even if you don't see massive progress, it doesn't matter. Any progress is a progress. So take it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good point, that. Because most people, when they come to camp, they've got three big fears. One is they're worried that it won't work for them. The next one is they're obviously nervous that they're going to get injured. But then the third one is that they won't fit in. And it's interesting to hear you saying that, the other people are really important. You need them to help get you through and all that kind of stuff. So, if there are people thinking of coming to boot camp and they are worried about that, I'm sure they'll take a lot of comfort in hearing what you're saying there. Who's been some of the standout people that you met at boot camp, and that you're still in touch with or made an impression on you?
Yeah, Riccardo, Richie, you call it Ricky. Fantastic guy. I mean, amazing. Claire, and I'm still in contact. And I know actually she's with you now. Then Georgie, Sonali.
Yeah.
I could continue, honestly. Now you put me in difficulties because I may miss a one. Honest. And then people, I have plenty of names and now I can't find them. Let's stay on this list, but it could continue much more.
Yeah.
Because even people that I may not remember the name, but it was a walk, a share of a face during a walk, or one of those fantastic exercises that we did under the rain, full of mud all over our faces, and they just do a step towards you to help you in that. And I don't even remember the names, but that's it. That's it. What is the togetherness for me? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Stefano, we'll wrap this up now, and. Thanks for sharing some of your advice and your experience. Like I said, I'm going to add links below this for your raffle. Is it a Just Giving page that you've got?
It's Just Giving, yes.
Yeah. For them people to donate on there, and also a link for your Three Aprons article that you wrote, which is a great read for anybody that that is looking to make some changes in their life. So I'll add them below. Is there anything that you want to kind of finish off with, or anything you think I should have asked you that I didn't ask you, or anything like that? No. Actually, no. I just would like to finish with say thank you very much to you for the massive support you're giving me for this great journey, and overall, I will be always grateful for having taken for when I took the decision to come and see you and trust the process of TEAM Bootcamp. And I would suggest anyone that really is in this moment of thinking process, doesn't feel well with themselves, I would say trust the process. Go take time for yourself, and go to see people that they really know how to allow you to help you. So I will just say this. Sorry, it didn't come out very well. Apologies. No, it's good. It's good. We know exactly what you're saying. So Stefano, thanks, and please say hello to Karen and your lovely dogs for us. Yeah, and until we chat again or meet again, take care.
Absolutely, big hug. Thanks very much. Bye bye.